Yeah, we got that fire this evening. Yeah, we calling on all comers. Bring it on. We on these Hebrew Israelites. I didn't seen some videos and they closer to the Neanderthal than they is to the African. I say, well, man, I know this ain't what they saying, family. I didn't got wind, and they saying they closer to the Neanderthal than they is to Africans. Boy, I tell you, boy, I got to be careful on these lives because I say, damn, I just put up a live and they trying to strike my shit down. I say, damn, boy, they don't want the general to say nothing because they know I be bruising peoples out here, man. You feel me? Real talk. I don't have no mercy. I come down full-fledged hammer. You see, sludge hammer. That's how I come. But anyway, we want to talk about this today. You know, why everybody is so anti-African today. You know, if they was as anti-Neanderthal as they is African, we might be halfway, to some liberation by now. You see what I'm saying? But they ain't got no smoke for nobody but their own people. You see, that's all they got. That's all they got. They got smoke for nobody but their own people. So I had to think about what they saying, the Hebrew Israelites. What they saying that they closer, and no, I got to watch this. But this is such, I mean, nigga, you got the toasters for real. Y'all, you got the toasters, and you need to stop that shit. You see what I'm saying? You need to stop that shit. I don't know what book y'all got. Is it the Bible? Is green eggs and ham? I don't know what book y'all motherfuckers got, but you need to stop it. You see, you need to goddamn stop it. Now let's deal with some things. Number one, since they closer to the Neanderthal. You see, since they closer to the Neanderthal than they is to the African. Let's deal with this and shit, and let's see. You see, let's deal with now. Here it is. Now in the Bible, in the Bible they say that the Africans are the children of Ham. Ham. Y'all know who Ham is? We ain't talking about no pork sandwich. Y'all niggas, anytime y'all see ham, y'all think about a goddamn ham sandwich. Y'all niggas looking for some mustard and some bread. You feel me? Get y'all a motherfucking ham sandwich. We talking about Ham, who is the son of Noah, one of the sons of Noah. Noah supposedly had, now we know this a lie. We know this a lie. We know damn well ain't no goddamn Noah. Motherfucker supposed to have put all these goddamn animals on a ship. Yeah, yeah. Noah. Yeah. Noah, yeah. Noah's Ark. Yeah, then motherfucker put all the animals in the world. Hey, motherfucker ain't told us how the kangaroo and the panda bear and all of that got from Australia to motherfucking Bethlehem. Say the motherfucking kangaroo hop all the way from motherfucking Sydney, Australia to Bethlehem. Boy, I tell you, these niggas will believe anything. The koala bear. And then they got them sloths and shit. Them sloths, and they move so goddamn slow. You understand what? How did the sloth from Australia get to Bethlehem? And they be moving slow than a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? I guess God put some skis on that motherfucker. God put some skis. Yeah, that motherfucker skied all the way through the Indian Ocean and shit. Up into the Persian Gulf and shit. or maybe God just gave everybody around a ticket on American Airlines and shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they flew in. We don't know. But anyway, we gotta talk about this nonsense because these niggas think they can manipulate the Bible, which we not, but we know what it is. Now, we know what it is, and the fabrication that these niggas is perpetrating to the world. You see, the fabrication that these peoples is the perpetration that they fabricating to the world, and is not even what's in the book. They making up some shit that ain't even in the book, to justify that. Now you got motherfuckers that supposedly they got the 12 tribes, and so you got motherfucking they got Hispanics and goddamn Puerto Ricans and goddamn all of this is a part of the 12 tribe, and they don't even come from that area of the world. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, what the fuck is you talking about? How in the fuck is some pale man got some lineage coming up out of Egypt and over there in that area of the world? And it clearly, clearly tell you that these people were black. You see what I'm saying? These are straight-haired Neanderthals. You see, straight-haired Neanderthal that come over from out of them them caves over there. You understand? Ain't got nothing to do with us. It says to separate the sheep from the goat. You see, which he refused. These so-called Hebrew Israelites refused to do. They refused to separate the sheep from the goat, and the goat with the straight hair, and the sheep with the woolly hair. You refuse. You're mixing them in. You understand? Because you are the author of confusion. So we had to wake our people up to this, and so, all this, I don't know how the hell, everything then shifted over here, and so even when you look at the Hebrew Israelite, they on some of that same, along with a lot of these other groups that just shift to America, and a lot of that shit that, them Hebrew Israelites, they ain't nothing but offshoot Mormons. When you read the Mormon Bible and they say that that the Indian, they talking about the peoples over here. The Mormon Bible is speaking about the Indians over here. That God, that some Israelites came from over in Israel, and they sailed over here. I think when they was supposedly destroying Israel, then they came and they sailed all the way up. You ain't never heard of a Israelite with a boat. Not one. You ain't never heard of no goddamn Israelite with a boat. The only motherfucker in the Bible you ever heard with a boat was Noah. That's it. That's the only motherfucker you ever heard had a boat. Noah. You see? So somehow some Israelites sailed all the way to America. And they came over here supposedly fighting the two tribes and shit. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus appeared to them over here and gave them this revelation that they called the Book of Mormon. Did y'all know that? So I mean, that's where the Hebrew Israelites get some of their shit from. That's why they accept some of these Indian motherfuckers over here as being Israelites, because they ain't nothing but an offshoot from them goddamn Mormons. That's all they is. And that's what it is. Nigga, y'all niggas is confused. Yeah. He say, "Oh yeah, yeah." Well, I'm still, they can't take the general on this motherfucking internet like they used to. You feel what I'm saying? They can't take me like that no goddamn more. So, I just said a couple things the other day, and they be tripping like, goddamn, I ain't even saying shit. You know what I'm saying? But the truth, is one thing when you speak the truth, but when you speak it in a ridiculing manner, they don't really don't like it then. It's already they can't face you. But then when you get on top of their head and you ridicule them, then they most definitely they be enraged. You feel me? But the thing is, the Israelites supposedly spent like 420 years in black ham. I don't understand these niggas. You see what I'm saying? That's like in slavery. That's the first thing a motherfucker gonna get is the woman. So it's gonna be some mixture of the blood. So I'm reading where I'm listening to these niggas how they teaching this fake shit that somehow that the three different sons of Noah were made different and shit. And then even if they did, they intertwined for damn near, for thousands of years. So they would have came back together any which way anyway. They would have came back together. Now again, when you talk about the Africans in the Bible are the Hermetics. You see, you talking about Egypt, you talking about Ethiopia, you talking about the whole continent and really the Canaanites. So how in the hell they made different, but yet and still you interbred with them. You interbred with them. You feel me? Even if they were made there, how different? I don't understand that. What is the logic in that? Because it says God created everything after his own kind, but then the sons came out different. So y'all double talk. You see, and it's nowhere in the Bible where it specifies that. You understand what I'm saying? It's nowhere in the Bible where it specifies that. It says he changed their tongue, their talk. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, you ain't, but all of a sudden the physicality, it changed. I mean, they all come from Adam. They supposedly all come from Adam and Eve. How in the hell you gonna have three sons that look different? That don't make no sense. What they saying, is illogical. But this is what they need to teach the falsehood. To teach the falsehood that those peoples over there were all African people. Ain't no goddamn Israelite something. That's a fake created nation, a paper nation. That's all it is, a paper fucking nation that they done created. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out how they figure that, that the so-called Hebrew Israelites are closer to the white man than the African. Now, number one, the Israelites stayed in Egypt for over 420 years. So it says, out of Egypt, I have called my son. Now, if they were made different, see, that don't make sense because Moses was supposedly a Israelite. He was supposedly an Israelite. He was an Israelite. But he passed as the Pharaoh's grandson. Yeah, he passed as the Pharaoh's grandson. You see, I believe his daughter raised Moses. Ain't that right? Or was it his sister? It was his daughter, I believe. Raised Moses. You see? So how in the hell he gonna raise something as the Pharaoh? He received the education in Egypt. So, I mean, he had to look like Pharaoh. So how in the fuck could they be something different? How could they look different if Moses was raised in Pharaoh's house for 40 years? Is that right? Yeah, let me, I wish I could let me see if I could I need to be able to see my comments. Cause if I got to crack a head or two, I will. I'll bleed your ass out. I'll bleed you out. Yeah, I'll bleed your ass out. It ain't no problem. I'm gonna start cracking niggas. Yeah. Yeah, let me get in here. Black Power. Yeah, oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I just got to see. Yeah, I'm gonna blow my comments up just so I can see you talk. Okay, good. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who that out there? Darren, what you out there talking about, Darren? Darren, what you, yeah, I wanted to, what you out there talking about, Darren? What you over there, man? What you teaching over there, man? That crazy shit? What you over there teaching, Darren? Come on in and yeah, come on in there. What you teaching? I see you. Darren, shut your weak ass up, nigga. You ain't saying nothing. You ain't putting out one, you ain't teaching nothing, nigga. You ain't teaching nothing, nigga. Oh, okay. You soaking up game. Oh, I thought okay, okay. My bad. I thought you was talking to somebody else. No, Darren was talking to somebody else. Okay, I thought he was. I didn't cut into Darren. I thought Darren was talking to me. Darren was talking to somebody else. Okay, my bad, Darren. Goddamn. Well, goddamn, nigga, say you on my team, man. You know me. I get to swinging swords and shit. You know, I done fucked around and cut my brother. I done cut my brother. I thought you was a Hebrew Israelite, man. I done cut my own brother. God damn it. Now I gotta stitch him up. Now I gotta stitch him up. I done cut my own brother. I'm sorry, Darren. I ain't mean to cut. That's why I can't see, man. I had to get my shit out. Yeah, y'all crazy to the motherfucker. Now let me get back on there. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry, you know me, you know me. But anyway, let's get back on these Hebrew Israelite niggas. Saying that they close it. Nah, again, and we already went over the fact that Moses looked just like he was raised in Pharaoh's house. You see what I'm saying? And uh, and that the fact that they lived in Egypt for over 420 years. You understand what I'm saying? And so you came in with 77 people. That's all you had when you come in with 77 people. So you ain't gonna make me believe that, you know what I'm saying, that the Egyptians didn't interbreed with the so-called Israelites. And then every last one of their prophets had children by an African woman. Every last one of them. Abraham had Ishmael by Hagar. You had and they don't never want to bring up Judah. Tell them niggas to come and talk. Thank you, family. Darren. I'm sorry, Darren. Darren came and showed love. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I had to pay homage. The brother came and showed love. I don't even think can I put it on there? I don't know why I can't. Because I'm on my phone and shit. I'm on my goddamn phone. I'll do it from here, goddamn it. I'll do it from here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. Appreciate that, family. But anyway, uh, and you talking about we did Abraham, Moses with Zipporah, and then had no other children. You understand what I'm saying? Moses' two sons was by Zipporah, an Ethiopian woman. Uh, Ishmael was also by Hagar, the Egyptian woman. And then you got you had David and Bathsheba, and David was wicked as a motherfucker. You know, he killed Uriah so that he could have, well, he had impregnated Bathsheba, which an African woman. You see, Uriah was a Hittite. And so wicked David, impregnated because he think he the king. He think he could do it. Had impregnated that man's woman while he was on the battlefield fighting for Israel. And people don't talk about that. That there were Hittites and all that fighting in the army for the Israelites. You see, and this motherfucker lay with the man's wife while he out on the battlefield, impregnate her. And so he had to figure out a way to knock him off so he don't get, exposed for being an adulterer, because adulterers was supposed to be stoned. You see what I'm saying? So David should have been stoned, but yet and still they keep running around and talking about he's a fuck. And not only was he an adulterer, he was having a relationship with Jonathan. You see, but but I don't want to go that route. I just want to prove that the Israelites look no different than the Shemites look no different than the Hamites. Even they fictional. In all reality, you cannot. They look exactly the same. So anybody out there trying to, you just want to be you want to justify why you got all them Neanderthals out there with them goddamn them show enough samurai suits you niggas got on. Y'all niggas up the Hebrew samurais and shit out there with rhinestones and shit and all your regalia and shit, looking like y'all motherfucker supposed to be at a punk rock concert and shit. And so you got to justify why you got all these Neanderthals out there. You see, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And so they Israelites, but the Africans, they ain't got no, in all the nations in the Bible is dealing with African people. They ain't got no connection to that. But this man that you call a Hispanic motherfucker, way over here, ain't got no connection to that landmass at all. Yet they Israelites. Man, y'all is some of the most confused niggas I have ever seen in my life. You understand? You niggas ain't even worth debating. If that's what you niggas ain't even worth debating. You feel what I'm saying? You niggas ain't even worth debating. And that's real talk. You see? Yeah. Yeah. We already went to the top. So that's what it is. And Moses, David, even Solomon. Solomon married the Egyptian princess. He married Canaanite women. You see, every last one of them. And wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Let me crack their head. Now, and you can't get none of them niggas to say shit about Tamar. They don't say nothing about Tamar, the Canaanite matriarch of the tribe of Judah. They always talking about that Judah. But they never bring up Tamar. Okay, they never bring up Tamar, which is a Canaanite woman that when Judah left from amongst his brothers and he moved to Canaan. He left his brothers behind and he moved to Canaan, and he married a Canaanite woman, and he had 3 sons. He had one called Er. He had one called Onan, Onan, and I think he had the third son was Shelah. I think it was Selah. Selah. Now God, now all 3 of his sons his first sons were by a Canaanite woman. Okay? This is the royal bloodline. Okay? This is the royal bloodline. Now, his first son, God just knocked him off. They call it Er. And I believe that's where they get the word heir from, to heir. It don't say what he did. It just said that God, he was wicked in the Lord's sight, the sight of the Lord, and God just took him. Thank you, family. Yeah, appreciate. Say God just took him. Okay, just took him for no goddamn. Now this is Judah. This is the royal bloodline. You feel me? And so then you have Onan. Now what in this crazy lineage shit, the brother ends up marrying or taking on his brother's wife. And so Onan didn't want to be down with that shit. So Judah tells him to take up seed in his brother's wife. I say, what? You wicked niggas. Y'all wicked. Wicked, man. Wicked, man. Damn. So Judah tells his second son to take up his brother's wife after his brother died and say, take up seed in his brother. I say, what? They wicked. And so he didn't want to do it. So when it came time for him to spread his seed, he pulled out. And God took him for that. Boy, this is a wicked God. Judah wicked, God wicked. Gonna kill the man because he got a sense of morality. Like, man, I ain't damn well, I ain't supposed to be doing this shit. And he like, this ain't gonna be my son or my child, so what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? This is some crazy shit. So God took both of Judah's first children. This is the royal bloodline now. This is the royal bloodline. They don't never talk about this. So he had one son left. And this woman is Tamar. And so by law, he was supposed to marry the last brother to her. And he was young at the time. He said, well, you know what? He's too young right now. You go and you chill with your father. And when he get older, I'm going to call for you and you can marry him. But he didn't do that. He was, he like, fuck that. I'm not going to lose my last son. And so she finds out that he don't have no intentions of trying to marry them, and so she like, this motherfucker done reneged. I'm a widow, and he know he supposed to marry me to Selah, and he didn't do it. So Abraham's wife had passed. No, Judah's wife. Wait a minute. Yeah, Judah's wife had passed. And so he wanted to, have a retreat. And he had some friends in the mountains, right? And I guess they would shear his sheep, shear them, shave them down and shit. And so he figured he'd go up there and relax with his, his people that do all this shearing and shit. And so that's where she was at. She stayed in that region. And somebody gave her the head up that he was on his way up there. So she took off her widow's clothing and put on the clothing of a harlot. Yeah, she didn't, how they put that shit across their face so he couldn't see who she was. And he, with his old lustful ass, he wanted to lay with the woman. And so, she didn't hid her face and shit and this, that, and the third. And he, after he done what he owed the woman because she playing a harlot. He got to pay. And he said, what do you want? And he said, I'm going to give you a goat. I'm going to send you up a goat. And he said, well, you're going to have to give me something until you get that goat up here. And he said, well, what do you want? And he had a ring on his finger and he had his staff. Now, for people in that culture, that ring is almost like a symbol of leadership. And the staff that shows that he's the leader of his clan. And she said, well, I want that ring and that staff until you get back. And he said, get that goat up here. And he said, okay, I'll leave it. And so when he gets back down in where, to his land, he sends his goat up by one of his servants. And when he get up there, he can't find the woman, because she done took off the harlot clothes and put back on her widow clothes. And so they look, and he said, well, where's that harlot? He said, they say, ain't no harlot up here. We don't have no harlot up here. And so he was kind of confused, like, well, shit, this woman got, the ring and got the staff. We got to find this woman, or we're going to be the laughing stock of the whole goddamn nation, because they're going to say a whore didn't beat this man out of his leadership. You know what I'm saying? So they looking for the woman, but they never did find the woman. And then finally, about 3 months later, somebody come down to Judah and say, man, you better come up here, man, because your son's widow is pregnant. And he was like, what? She's pregnant? And he was like, burn her ass. You know what I'm saying? And so he goes up there and he say, bring her, I'll burn her. And then she pulls out the man's ring and his staff and handed it to him. And he says, the father is the man who owns this ring and this staff. And then when he looked, he seen it was his ring and his staff. And he said, that this woman is more righteous than me. I mean, listen, did you hear that? This is what the Bible says. Say the woman was the harlot was more righteous than the patriarch of Judah. Okay, a harlot, a whore. Did you hear a whore was more righteous than the patriarch Judah? This came out his own mouth. But listen now, this is Canaan. Now, do you know that Tamar is the matriarch of the entire tribe of Judah? The entire tribe. That means Jesus, that means David, that means Solomon. All of them trace their lineage back to Tamar. Tell them niggas to bring that up. You ain't gonna never hear that. Yeah. Black Power, I'm in the house, y'all. Bring that shit up. Tell them to bring that up. We in the house. You got to find it in Genesis. Let me look it up. Genesis 38. Genesis 38. You can look it up in Genesis 38. Look that shit up. Yeah, so I mean, how the hell they talking about they different than the African when the African woman is the matriarch of the tribe of Judah. And every one of the, and he had matter of fact, oh shit, I done dropped the damn phone. Y'all like, goddamn, this nigga said he tripping. This nigga done dropped the phone. Let me get in here. He had 2 sons out of that. Perez. One of them was named Perez and the other one was named Zerah. One was named Perez and the other one was named Zerah. And the one named Perez is in the blood. If you look at the genealogy of Jesus, you will see that Perez is in the genealogy of Jesus. Solomon too, all of them. Solomon, Jesus, David. Let me see the one in Matthew. Let me put that one in there. Genealogy of Jesus. Right there, it says, there you go. Listen, right there, it say it. It says and we talking about Matthew. You can read it, Matthew 1, chapter 1, verse 1 through 17. This is the genealogy of Jesus, the Messiah, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham was the father of Isaac. Isaac, the father of Jacob. Jacob, the father of Judah and his brothers. And here you go. Judah, the father of Perez and Zerah, whose mother was Tamar. Perez, okay, so there it is. You look Matthew chapter 1, verse 3, it says, Judah, the father of Perez and Zerah, whose mother was Tamar. Whose mother was Tamar. That's Jesus' genealogy. So, I mean, the African woman is in his genealogy. I don't know what the fuck motherfuckers is talking about. I don't know what the fuck motherfuckers is talking about. Them niggas is in a state of confusion, man. You feel me? But anyway, look it up. You say Tamar Braxton. It might as well be. Might as well be. Might as well goddamn be. But anyway, family, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to go on over on the general, drop some fire. Come on over there, Bill, with the general. See you in a minute. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily liberation through African education and confrontation. Black Power.